Hello, welcome to Friday. Feel Good Friday. Feel good, fabulous, fashiony Friday. Yes, lots of good things to share with you. Hello, everybody. Gosh, you're all so quick joining. Thank you. Sorry I was a couple of minutes late. I was sorting out a few bits. So let's crack on, shall we? Let's see if Facebook is here on this Feel Good Friday. I've got my kids watching a movie in the other room, so I'm hoping they're not taking up all the bandwidth. It says you can't turn your phone while recording. I'm not sure what that means. Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Hello, how are you? I know lots and lots of you are now tuning in on YouTube, which is really nice because it's a kind of a proper TV format. So it's nice, and they're also stored on YouTube. So if ever you want to do a bit of catch up and just kind of drop in for a bit of a chit chat, then they will all be there. And you can leave comments on YouTube, and we do try and put all the links. I think it goes onto a separate section where you can actually link to get stuff, to get all the information. So anyway, very nice to have you all with me. It's howling out there. It is blowing at the biggest gale. So I'm really sorry, Facebook. I know your little ears are very sensitive, aren't they? Because you've told me that before. So what I've done is I have unplugged the super sensitive microphone that I usually use. So hopefully you don't get kind of these, I mean, it's like a typhoon. It's really, really blowy. And yeah, I don't know what it's like with you. You got wind where you are? So on Facebook, we've got Amy. Hello, Amy. Thank you very much for being with us, for logging on. Amy will provide all the links and help with all the chit-chat that goes on Facebook, on Instagram. Obviously, we can't provide direct links, but I have looked at my link tree. So that's a little magic tree of links. So after this, if you want to get any information, you just click on the link tree, which is the blue link in my main Instagram bio, and you should, hopefully, fingers crossed, find everything there. Has anybody listened to this week's podcast, which was with the neuroscientist, Professor Daniel Levitin? Oh my goodness. Obviously, I record these podcasts in, different months, depending on whenever these guys are around. That was with him live when he was over from the States. So it was a few months ago. So it was before lockdown and all of that. So if you're watching that on YouTube, you'll see that we're nice and cozy, snuggled up together because there was no social distancing or anything like that. And I was in the little studios for Heart Dialogue with Basil. He loved Basil. Honestly, if you look at his Instagram, you'll see pictures of Basil. I mean, forget me. It's like, Liz Earle, Schmel. Let's just have pictures of Basil. So we got on really well, actually, and he was a really interesting chat. And I started to re-listen to it. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet because I got distracted by my kids this morning. But I was in the bathroom this morning, and I just thought, I just want to listen to that podcast again because what he was talking about. And one of the things that he said, which struck me, and actually, I don't know about you, but because of this howling gale, I didn't sleep particularly well last night. And I try and keep my bedroom quite cool because they do say that you get a better quality of sleep if your room is not too hot. So that means that I, particularly in the summer, sleep with my window open behind a blackout blind, so it's still dark, but I'm getting the cold air coming in. And of course, I hadn't banked on it being an absolute gale, so I kept waking up with the blind moving and the howling gale outside. So one of the things that Daniel said, which was really quite shocking, because we were talking about the aging brain and how to stay mentally well and fit and healthy with good memory and cognitive function and all of that as we age. And he said that they've done studies, and he's at Stanford, a professor, and has spent decades of research on this, that if you have one bad night's sleep where you only get, say, 4 hours sleep, that will affect your memory for the next 2 weeks. Isn't that astonishing? Just one bad night can damage your memory and mental health capacity for 2 weeks afterwards. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to make extra sure now. I mean, you know me in sleep. For me, it's always been that kind of non-negotiable. I try and do a lot of stuff, and I can do it as long as I get good sleep. So as long as I've got my HRT gel, the proper stuff, none of this estradiol rubbish. Anybody affected by estradiol, estradiol, don't forget we've got a new article up online, lizarwellbeing.com. Amy, I think you'll pop a link perhaps to it to anybody who needs to see that. So yeah, as long as I've got that, and I've got my slumber drops from Life Armour, and I've got my earplugs, and I've got my Holistic Silk little face mask if I'm travelling to keep the light out. I think we've still got a discount with them actually. I think they still do, I think it's 10% with Holistic Silk and 15% obviously with Life Armour. So we've got links anyway. If you ever want to know what any of the Liz Loves discounts are, we've got whole sections now on the Liz Earle Wellbeing website because we've got so many lovely brands that have offered us discounts as a kind of wellbeing community here. So just go to lizearlewellbeing.com, type in Liz Loves, and all these lovely treats will pop up, including a couple of things I'm going to share with you today. So, Fashion Friday, and this is really a special British, such a small brand. You know me, I like to introduce you to brands that you perhaps won't have heard about before. They're not on the high street, they certainly are kind of under the main radar, they don't have any advertising budget. Anyway, this brand is so small and so special, they don't even have a website. No, it's like a private invitation only. And I'm going to give you the invitation. Yes, I am. So this, which I absolutely love, is a brand called Baby Salon. And it was started by a real wonderful fashion designer stroke rock chick. And she had a shop in Portobello, that kind of really funky, groovy area of northwest London. And she had it for many, many years, and then things didn't go so well, and that closed. And then she started another little brand a little bit later called Feather and Bone, which I used to buy from. And again, it was often at kind of private house sales or through word of mouth, which is often the nice way because you get things that, you know, not everybody's wearing. It's not like you go into one of the chains and they've made 50,000 dresses all the same. You know, this is really, really small. Anyway, she stopped doing that as well. And then I rediscovered her. I forget how. I think maybe I'd seen her on Instagram because that's basically where she operates. Anyway, she's called Karen McEwen. Karen McEwen 1, I think, is her Instagram. I popped a link on the link tree so that you can find her. So you can follow her. And basically, if you want to know about her dresses and tops and all the lovely things that she does, you just go onto her mailing list. And then whenever she's got things, she just sends us all an email. And what I really like about this is not only are the designs really fun. I mean, she is an original rock chick. And if you have a look at her great Instagram, it's all pictures of festivals. And so anyway, Carol, I know you're watching, so I put on a bit more kohl eyeliner. Can you see? I've got a bit more of a kind of a rock chicky look, and I've just left my hair go all like this because I thought maybe that was kind of rocking a slightly different vibe, the one that I normally do. I'm not sure it's quite my vibe, but anyway, I can play a bit, can't we? We can play around. I guess on a day like this, I should be outdoors pretending I'm at Glasgow and teaming my dress with a pair of wellies and all of that in the mud. But what I love about Carol is she's got a great eye, and she works with this really interesting fabric. Now this is a crepe viscose, which has got a slight kind of give to it, and it's very, very hard to work with, which is why very few brands or designers will actually work with crepe viscose. So what she has to do before she even sets about designing is, because it shrinks by up to 25% in the wash, she's got these washing machines at home and she pre-washes all the crepe viscose, and so that it's pre-shrunk, and then she cuts it, and it's all handmade in London. So she's working with British ethical fashion makers, doing things pretty much to order. So there's no stock wastage, it's almost like bespoke. But I just love things like this little, I don't know how she does it, but this is sort of different bits of the crepe with the sleeve, and there's always a bit of an interesting neckline going on. This is a size 1, so this is her smallest size, so it's a little bit snug on the bust, but there you go, kind of nice to be a bit tight fitting. And then really loose here, and they've got this sort of dropped hem. Isn't that pretty? This is one of her colours. This is this soft blush pink. And I've got several things. Carol, I bought from you for many, many years, probably going back, I don't know when you first started. When we went to your Baby Salon, maybe it was, 30 years ago, maybe at least 25 years. I've still got tops and dresses that I bought from you, and I wear them. I very often will take them to Kenya, and I've got a really lovely bright blue one in this lovely crepe, and another one that's in this colour. And whenever I wear it, everybody's going, oh my goodness, where did you get that dress? I just love it. And I, wow, it's a little secret brand. So anyway, not so secret now. Thank you for letting me share the secret. And I wish you huge amounts of love and luck, because I think, you know, you are a lone woman, female founder, doing it on your own, doing the right thing, paying people proper wages, looking after your team, being responsible, and just sharing lovely designs. So I hope that you love it. I'm definitely going to stay on your mailing list, and I'm going to be looking out for more treasures and more things, because honestly, this, I mean, we'll probably be wearing this in 20 years' time. Just as I'm wearing so many of your other tops. And I know many of you actually have commented on my Instagram, particularly when I used to post last year. I remember I was wearing a few of your tops, Carol, and people would say, oh my goodness, where's that top from? I love it. And I would have to say, I'm really sorry, it's a Feather and Bone brand, it's no longer existing. But now I will be able to direct people. People are trying to get my yearbook 1. I might have an option for you for the future. It won't be the printed version, but we're going to see whether we can do a digital version. This one behind me actually is yearbook 2. I don't know if you spotted that. Maybe that's what sparked the conversation. I do have some of these here at the farm, and I am signing them. In fact, I was signing a few this morning for those who wanted to get them. So yeah, I love it. I love the yearbooks. They're so special, and you can only get them from me, from the Liz Earle Wellbeing website. They're not on Amazon. We don't sell them anywhere else. It's purely an exclusive. So yes, if you would like that, and yeah, we'll see what we can do with maybe an online version for yearbook 1. So Carol McEwen 1 was the name. I am sideways. What's that? On Facebook. Am I sideways on Facebook? Thank you for letting me know that. Not quite sure why that is recording sideways. Shall I try and switch it round? Still sideways. Okay. Still sideways, still sideways. Let's see. Oop, now it's crooked. Okay, I'll tell you why I think it might be sideways. Is that any better, guys? Oh, Marie, yearbook 3. Don't tempt me. I'd love to do yearbook 3. Just not enough hours in the flipping day, is there really? Now, I think that's a bit wonky now on Facebook, but let us. Is that better? Yay! I'm so sorry. Been watching like that, have you? It's a problem with not knowing. As I keep saying, one day I'll have a lovely big team of production people, and they'll be going, oh, right, Liz, are you ready? Let's pop a bit more powder on you and check the lighting and check everything's all okay. But at the moment, I'm afraid it's just me and a couple of phones. So there we are. Good. I'm glad that's better. So sorry. Bear with me, caller. So yes, that was my Fashion Friday fave and a bit of a shout out. You've got your yearbook 2, Karen. Excellent, that's coming. Yeah, keeping it real. It is real, isn't it? It's live, and that's what life is like. Now, another brand that I wanted to introduce you to, which I have just recently discovered, it's another very small female founder-led brand. She's based in Dublin, and she has created this really interesting healthy magnesium deodorant. Yes, and her partner is a doctor, and they've worked together on this, and I've been trying this, and I am really impressed. And her partner grew up in India, so it's got a nod to kind of Ayurvedic medicine, because it's using really interesting herbs and magnesium to kind of change the flora of our underarms naturally in a really safe, natural, easy way, using marine magnesium. And what I like about it is it's got a very, very light scent. So it's a very light sort of vanilla-y coconut scent. Very fine mist. So you just kind of spray that on under. And you use it every day. And the idea is that it subtly, over time, it just changes. I'm not quite sure what it changes, whether it's the pH or what. But it just stops you smelling. Isn't that clever? So she sent me some to try a while ago, and I've been using it, and I really love it. And she's given us a Liz Loves of 15% off. So I popped the link. Amy, you've probably got the link, haven't you, for Facebook? And I popped the link on Instagram. It's Indiora is the name. Indiora. I think it's indiora.com. Just put Liz Loves in capitals and you'll get your discount. And she does bundles of them. So you can buy, 3 or 4 at a time. Each one lasts for 3 months. So you can get a bundle of 4, which is a whole year, and then you can apply your Liz Loves discount, which is really good. So the ingredients are this magnesium chloride, which is the seawater magnesium, which is just a really remarkable mineral. You may have heard me talk to Dr. Seaweed about the content of the Outer Hebridean seaweed that they use in all their lovely smoked seaweed oils and their iodine capsules, and how important it is to use kind of the whole natural compound rather than just take one little bit of a synthetic element and pop that into a product or into a supplement or something, because it doesn't work as well as if you get the whole natural source kind of complex. So this has got the magnesium chloride, a little bit of glycerin, and then it's got chamomile flowers and aloe vera juice, and it's just a really, really nice blend, and I was just very pleased to get that and to try it. So I just wanted to share that with you. 400 sprays in here, which is really good. And the other thing that they do on their website, which you'll find, which I think is great, is this, which is the hyaluronic hand sanitizer. This is a spray hand sanitizer, which of course we're all having to use at the moment. And what she's done very cleverly is she's put hyaluronic acid in it, so which is that lovely natural moisturising factor, so it doesn't dry out the skin. Now this, she doesn't actually make any money on after our discount. So please don't just go on and buy lots of this, because that wouldn't really be very fair. But if you want to get the magnesium deodorant, get a bundle on that, maybe use your discount, and then if you want to add in some of these hand sanitizers, I would say go for it, because I think they're great. Anyway, check them out. It says here clinically formulated for dry skin, and again, that's been in my bag. I've been using that, and my skin has been sanitized. And again, she's working with her partner who's a doctor. I think it's 75% alcohol, so very high. I think the guidelines are that we need to use at least 60% to kill viruses, and this is 75%, but you've got that really nice hyaluronic acid and some very nice smelling essential oils in there. So another little shout out there to female founder-led brand, small but mighty, doing good things. So thank you for sharing that with us. And of course, don't forget that I still have the code up and running for the ACT deodorant balm. So I've been switching in between the two, to be honest. Every morning I've been using the spray, just because I'm really interested in kind of shifting that whole pH, just to see how that goes. And I quite like the spray because it's so quick and easy, and you're done. But then later on in the day, if I have a kind of a freshen up, or if I'm going to the gym, or if I'm going out in the evening, I love this deodorant balm. And you can see where I've been using it. I've got about a third of the tube has gone in the last month or so that I've been using it. So this again uses botanicals. They've got 3 different versions. Again, Liz Loves in capitals gets you a discount. And this one is number 3, and it's vetiver, lavender and citrus. For me, this was the favourite, the blue one. But I'd be interested to hear what you guys think, if you think the same. And I'll just check actually and see what the discounts are with ACT. Because we've got so many now, I lose 15%. Great, ACT, aktlondon.com. Talking about essential oils, one of my favourite oil brands, of course, is Neal's Yard, great British essential oil brand. I love what they're doing, and they're not far from me, actually, down here in the West Country. That's where their headquarters are, and I've been to see them. I've done a whole factory tour. I've met with their herbalists. I've seen the botanical plants growing in the garden. I don't just kind of take. I guess it's my background as a journalist. I don't just take what brands often say for granted. I will say, okay, that's very interesting. Let me come and see you and let's talk about it, because it's always nice to build a relationship with brands and to really go behind the scenes and to check them out, but also to have a better understanding of what they do and how they're doing it and why they're doing it. Anyway, just to let you know, this, of course, my lovely magazine, is coming out of the shops. I was in... Where was I? Sainsbury's, I think, this week, and it wasn't on the shelf, and it was a bit of a moment, actually, because I'm so used to going into the supermarkets and Marks and Spencer's and places like that and seeing it, and then just to have this kind of empty space. And my team and I, we worked so hard to get it into the stores, to get listed next to Good Housekeeping and Red and Women and Home and all those big magazines, to actually then have my lovely little magazine just sitting next to it. It was a real challenge. It took 4 years of real slog to get it into the magazines, because retailers are a tricky bunch. I know all of you who've got small businesses who have to deal with retail will know what I'm talking about. And so to actually make the decision to say, we're not going to sell to the shops anymore, it was a real moment, because I don't know if we would ever be able to go back. Maybe we would, but hopefully we won't need to. Hopefully with your support to be subscribers, we won't need to. So we will definitely continue to print it. We will be carrying on with our print as long as we have subscribers. We can't print unless we have subscribers. So do please share the word. If you've got a subscription, fabulous. If you'd like to get one for a friend, fabulous. But let's just see how it goes. And I think there are lots of reasons for not being in retail. Obviously, the whole lockdown situation was a nightmare because we couldn't sell the majority of our copies. There were very, very few supermarkets that had the magazine, and even those that did, they were very often just locked in a stockroom because obviously they were focusing on food and essentials, and they weren't really interested in restocking the shelves with magazines. So we pulped, oh gosh, I don't know, something like 20,000 copies. It was heartbreaking. And so we said, look, we can't risk that. We can't allow that to happen anymore. And I've always been concerned, actually, about the wastage in magazines, because even in normal retail, you have to oversupply, which does mean inevitably there's quite a lot of waste. And retailers take a lot of margin, especially for a small brand like me, with a little publishing brand. So we thought, actually, we think we've got a strong enough community here that love what we do, that will actually support us and will subscribe if we come out of retail. So there we go, we've done it. So we've just pressed the button on the next issue that's being printed. As I speak, it's being printed and packaged, and it will get slotted into envelopes, not plastic bags. Nope, if you get yours in a plastic bag, you must let me know, because my mailers have got strict instructions not to use plastic. And so again, we're cutting down all the plastic waste. When you sell into shops, you've got to have big bundles of stuff, and it's all in that really, really thick, robust plastic, which I can understand because it protects magazines. And, certainly when it's raining, we've had issues with copies getting damp and things. So there's always this fine line, isn't there, between practicality and sustainability, and it's very often, where do you make that judgment call? It's and a lot of what I do is try and be guided by you, by your feedback, by what's important to you. So do please keep that communication coming, because I see it very much as a team effort. So there you go. So just to say, on the subject of Neil's Yard, actually, I was talking about oils. Although we have printed everything for the subscribers, so if you're on the subscriber list, no panic, you will get your subscription. We did print a few more, like a couple of hundred more, that's all, because we thought there are bound to be people that have been away on holiday or whatever that haven't subscribed and will be listening to this going, I'm not going to get my magazine. So there are a few left. If you want to subscribe, you're going to have to be quick if you want the September issue. But it's actually good being quick, because you do, at the moment, we've got a few of them left. Thank you, Neil's Yard. Thank you. We've got a few left to get your £10 gift voucher. And you probably saw I was talking about their Wild Rose collection, which I love. I love roses. Such a great collection. I particularly like the body oil. Where's the body oil? They've got shower oil, and this is really lovely, the dry body oil. Isn't that pretty? And of course, Wellbeing pink. I would have thought they'd have done it for me, wouldn't you? But no, I don't think they did. But I do love it. And again, it's pump, but it's in glass. So it's a lovely glass pump. And it just smells so delicious, and you can use it as a body oil. And then what I do with body oils, actually, is when I make my body oil, that smells so good. Oh, I wish you could smell it. It's really good. That's my bit of Floral Friday, my rose. Oh gosh, you just feel, it's that connection with the limbic system. I'm sure Daniel Levitin, my neuroscientist friend who I was podcasting with, would agree. It's that reaction that we have in that limbic part of our brain up here that controls mood and emotion, that's right at the top of our nose, and we have these little neurotransmitters, these little brain cells up here, which is why the very first minute you smell something good, your brain instantly responds with an emotional reaction. So smell is so important. It's not just about kind of, beauty and fanciness. It does actually have a real place in well-being. Oh, I love it. And then what I do, particularly when I've kind of scrunch-dried my hair like this, is I just put a little bit of body oil through my hair as well, just to kind of get rid of the frizz and just to kind of give it, and it makes it smell nice too. You know, if you're going to come up close to me and I shake my hair at you, you get a lovely waft of wild rose. Oh dear, lots of chat going on. Yeah, the rose body oil, it's on your list. Well, I don't know if you are a subscriber, Amanda, or if you want to take out a gift subscription for somebody else, but of course you will get your £10 off. So if you fancy buying that, then that would be a very good way to do it. Or of course you could make a massage blend. This is actually the Neal's Yard massage blend. This is sunflower oil with a little bit of almond oil and a little bit of wheat germ. So really nice, simple, classic massage blend. And then what I do, I don't even bother using bottles and jars, to be honest. I'll just pour a little bit into my hand and then take my essential oil, lavender, or I'm using neroli here, another one of my favourites. Neroli is, there you go, 1 or 2 drops, just like that. Oh, another lovely smell. I've got loads of oil here now, so I'm going to have to do my legs. I think legs actually respond really well to oil, because the lower leg, kind of behind the knee, below the knee rather, really has very, very few sebaceous glands, so it doesn't get as much natural moisturiser as the rest of the body, because the sebum is the body's natural moisturiser. So that's why you often get this kind of really dry flakiness on our lower legs. So if you can use a body oil, then that's a really good... You can even double layer if you want. You put your body oil on first, and then you can layer it over with a body cream, and that will keep your skin looking just glowing. So, oh, smelling so good in here. A couple of other little beauty treats. Whoops. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's why it didn't work. To share with you. As you know, I'm a massive fan of Beauty Pie. And I love it. I love Marcia Kilgore. She's another female founder. We've got an article actually with her coming up in the new edition of Liz Earle Wellbeing Magazine. We've got a full-length, in-depth interview. And it is riveting. After we wrote it, it was Amy actually who interviewed Marcia and wrote it up for the magazine, and I thought it was so great that I had the proof version before we went to print, and I actually sent it to Kim Buckland, my great friend and former business partner in the beauty company. I just sent it to her saying, you have to read this, because Marcia, what she says is absolutely spot on. So I don't know if you're watching Marcia in Switzerland in your Tower of Power, but thank you for doing that interview and for sharing so much and being so open. And I love what you're doing with Beauty Pie. You are a massive brain. You're a great disruptor as well, doing new things. And if you don't know about Beauty Pie, the way it works is it's a membership scheme. So you sign up for 3 months, and you can pay as little as £5 a month. So, it's not an expensive thing. But once you're a member, everything on their website, from fragrance to skincare to makeup to hair care to candles to so many things, is at cost price. It's literally what it costs to come out of the factory. So I use their retinol, for example, their super retinol in the evening, and I buy it. They occasionally will send me new stuff, press samples free for review, but I'm a member, and I genuinely go and buy my stuff. In fact, I had an order delivered only this week. I bought some new makeup brushes from Beauty Pie, which I like very much. So that retinol, I think, is, if you bought it normally in a department store or online or wherever, I think the recommended price is about £85, and I think I paid £10. So it's really, really worth having. And the reason I talk about this here is that Marcia, because she's a mate, she's given us all our first month free. So you can try it for all this stuff. You can take out the lowest membership, or maybe it's £10 that you have to take out a month. But anyway, you get your first month free, and it gives you access. So the savings are really phenomenal. And what I did today, I actually used, this is one of my favourites. Oh dear. That'll teach me to be too precariously balanced. Good job I didn't swear, isn't it? Oh, Facebook are now looking at the ceiling. No, here we go. Oh dear, what is this? This is not going well, is it, my lives today? This is definitely not going to be the one that gets uploaded onto YouTube. I think we're going to have to give them a sanitised version, don't you? Oh dear. There we go. I just need to do that. I think it's because I've got a little light balanced on the top of it, and it's all kind of, whoa, comes crashing. Anyway, are we all okay? All okay? Are we all okay? Yes. Getting thumbs up, getting hearts. Good. No, I'm absolutely fine, thank you. No, I didn't suffer in the process. Actually, I have just got a bit of coffee spilt on my table, but it's got a very thick varnish on it, which is just as well. So, no harm done. So actually, what I wanted to show you was this Beauty Pie palette, because I think I bought at least 3 of these, all the same. It's the 10 best matte eyeshadow shades. So when I was doing my smoky eye, I was kind of trying to channel my inner rock chick, which I'm not very good at, but anyway, I would just take a bit of that really dark shade there and just kind of smudge it in. It's like that kind of that dark kohl eyeliner. Those of you who were around making up in the 60s, that kind of smudgy look. Do you ever follow Hannah Martin? So Hannah Martin's another great friend of mine, lovely young makeup artist, and she does the most amazing smoky eye. She, honestly, she's got that off to a T. And she is a columnist, actually. So if you look at Liz Earle Wellbeing Magazine, for the last few issues, she has been sharing her beauty advice. So she always does a big makeup feature, and she's actually the resident makeup artist on Channel 5 on their 10 Years Younger programme. So she's really good at kind of doing things that just make us look better. I can see that I think that little bit of camera malfunction has given me a wardrobe malfunction. How's about that? Should we start again with that one? And I can see that I'm glowing now as well. Oh, Amanda's saying on Facebook, no, we didn't do kohl eyeliner in the 60s. We're all far too young. Of course we are. Linda, thanks for introducing us to Carey September. She's hysterical. Yeah, she is. Carey September, who I did my lovely Instagram live with recently. So Carey, we worked out, has done every single cover of the Liz Earle Wellbeing magazine. So this we shot together in Lamu. And actually this is one that I'm going to be looking at this weekend. This was also shot in Lamu. So that was on the same, interesting, isn't it? So is my hair, yeah, my hair's looking similar. Makeup's looking a little bit different. So yeah, this was taken in one of the beautiful little courtyard houses, kind of Arab style courtyard houses. And then this one was on the beach with my lovely friend Andrew's dog called Ella, who's since sadly died. Oh, she was quite an old lady there in that picture. This was a few years ago. Do you see that with her lovely grey hair? Beautiful Ella. Ella Bella, we used to call you. So the reason I'm looking at this one, so this issue was from May, June last year. I don't know if you've got yours. If you have, May, June last year. This is what I'm going to be making over the weekend, because we did a whole feature on tea time treats, and I just thought, you know, this weather is so rubbish, isn't it? It's just not like any kind of normal August. When you think next weekend's the August bank holiday, so there we are, go figure. But this, we've got whole wheat crumpets with the raspberry kombucha compote. Yummy. We're going to be making those. Easier than they sound to make crumpets. It's really incredible. My kids love doing them because you make this batter, and then you just you put the batter into little circles in a frying pan, and they bubble and they become crumpets. It's just like magic. It's really, really a fun thing to do. And the raspberry compote is very simple, and you do that with a little bit of kombucha. So if you've been fermenting, you're fermenting the good gut box, the kit, then you will have that ready to hand. This is also delicious. Almond and cherry bakewell slices. Has to be one of my favourites. I love almonds and cherries. Just such a great combo, don't you think? And then this one, Earl Grey, you know me and my Earl Grey tea, Earl Grey and citrus spelt loaf cake. Again, so, you know, they're lower in sugar than normal baking recipes. So it's reducing the glycemic load. And then using ingredients like almonds, which have lots of vitamin E and lots of protein, using things like spelt flour. Some of them are vegan. I use lots of fresh fruits, they just very nice Wellbeing twist on a bit of baking. Now, the reason I mention this is not to exclude you, because I want to include you. If you've got May, June 2019, that's the one that you look for. That's where you'll find these recipes. So all of you who've been subscribing for a while or buying magazines and keeping them, that's where you'll find it. May, June 2019. If you would like to have a digital copy free of this, then just hop onto Readly. So Amy, you can pop a link, can't you, onto Facebook, and I popped a link on Linktree. So you need to follow my link, and then normally Readly is $7.99 a month. And if you click on the link, you'll see it says, do you want to subscribe, $7.99 a month, whatever, and you go yes. And then when you go to checkout, it just goes, and your first month is free. So it is completely free, and there's no obligation to carry it on. So if you don't want to continue, then you just cancel after a month, and you just had your month for free. Now, it's not just Liz Earle Wellbeing Magazine. No, as if it wasn't enough to be Liz Earle Wellbeing Magazine. You get access to, I don't know how many tens of thousands of magazines. I mean, it is astonishing. I was talking to friends about it, and they were saying that they took it out and they just couldn't believe how everybody in the family was using it, because the dad was into golf and he was downloading his Golfing Monthly, and there was a racing magazine, and then the kids were into motorsport, and somebody else was having Rugby World, and then there was a football magazine, and then there was a grandma who was downloading knitting patterns. I mean, it really is extraordinary. And I like it because I like to check and see what the other magazines are doing. So I'll go and have a look on, I don't know, women's wear in Australia, or I might go and look at, some of the American magazines. And of course, you don't just get the current issue. So if you want to get this one, which is the current one on digital, and you are on Readly, then you can get all the back issues. So we go back with them, I think we go back about 2 years. So this one is certainly there. So this is May, June 2019. So if you want to hop over and have a look at all the content, actually, it's a really, really nice issue. And it's got some great recipes. But I think the baking recipes, the baking treats are particularly good. There's also some great seafood stuff. And, that's really good too. That chilled chervil and buttermilk soup. Oh, good. Actually, I mustn't get too carried away, because there's just so much in there. You kind of pick up a magazine and you lose yourself, don't you? Which is so nice. And I think digital, is great, and it's lovely to have that. So you've got that as an option, especially as a resource when you want to check back on something. But for me, nothing will replace print, in my heart anyway, and hopefully in my business life as well. I really seriously, sincerely hope that we will continue to be in print. So I think that's kind of it for today. I've got more books to go off and sign. So that's yearbook 2. What else am I doing this weekend? I'm going to be doing some more yoghurt making. So this is the Good Gut box. I'm gradually working my way through it. I've got both types of yoghurt on the go at the moment. I thought I'd share that with you on Monday. Those of you who are interested, who've been asking about the differences between the two yoghurt options. The Bulgarian yoghurt is the thicker one, and that needs to be warm. So you need a yoghurt maker or a thermos flask or some way of warming it. If you don't have that and you don't mind thin yoghurt, really lovely, like a pouring yoghurt to pour onto berries or to make smoothies with, then you go for the Villi, the Scandinavian Villi yoghurt. But honestly, no word of a lie, I have been making the Bulgarian yoghurt, and I'd love to know what you think about this. But I genuinely, hand on my heart, think it's the best yoghurt I've ever eaten. Yes, really. And I was talking to Polly, my commercial director, either yesterday or the day before yesterday, and she was saying, I've got my yoghurt maker, it arrived, and I'm really thrilled. I've been making the Bulgarian yoghurt. I had some for breakfast. She said, do you know, I think it's the best tasting yoghurt I've ever had. And I said, do you know, I absolutely agree with you. And I said, I must share that, because I don't know if any of you have made that. It's really, really, really good. The Bulgarian yoghurt. Highly recommend it. I don't think I will ever buy shop-bought yoghurt again. And so no more single-use plastic pots, no more expensive yogurts, just good stuff. So yes, Abigail, I'm eating my Bulgarian yogurt now, and it's so good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. So what I was doing yesterday, because I had some for my brunch, I just sprinkled in a few pumpkin seeds. And honestly, it was just so delicious. And my kids love it too. And, it's so good for us because you've got the good gut bugs, you've got all the calcium, which is, so important. And anyway, Lots of good things. So I'm glad you're loving. Actually, I can just see on the floor rolling around a couple of things that I meant to show you before I had my camera mishap. Very quickly before I go. Don't forget Weed and Wonderful. This is the thing that I was transforming my food with, the smoked seaweed. You get 25% off with Liz Loves. Love it. I'm going to be using that on my eggs over the weekend. And this I wanted to share with you because this is my latest discovery from Beauty Pie. This is actually why I started talking about Beauty Pie. This is so clever. This is a Shine Up colour balm. And it's like a kind of a pencil stick, but it's glossy. I don't know how they've done that. So you use it, I was using it as like a lip gloss. Really easy to use and to be precise, because you can kind of give yourself a little Cupid's bow. And then you can use it on your cheeks as well, that old trick of just rubbing in just a little bit of creamy colour. In a stick. This one is called Sexy Berry. There you go. It's going with my rock chick look, isn't it? My Sexy Berry lip glossy pencil. But I love it. I'm going to buy some more of these in different colours because I think they're genius. Anyway, that really is it for now. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. Don't forget, leave me comments and questions. Facebook, I'll come back to you over the weekend and answer as much as I can. Instagram, leave me questions and comments below. I don't do direct message, I'm afraid, because it just gets overwhelming. But I do very often, as soon as I've got breaks in the day, I'll hop on and answer whatever I can. So there you go. I hope you've loved today. Thank you for your hearts. I'm sending you hearts back. Have a great weekend. Look forward to being with you on Monday. Just before I go live on Monday, I'm going to be back on This Morning. So you might want to flick on to ITV. I'll be with Eamon and Ruth. They are live all next week because Holly and Phil are away, and I'm going to be sharing some botanical herby things. So I'm probably being teased by Eamon, bless him, like last time. Anyway, lots of love to you all. Take care. Bye.